Hi everyone. In this section, we will combine all the things that we learned as part of Cognito course, and we will utilize that to create this web application named ShareMyFiles. And in this application, authenticated users can upload files with unique key for each file, and then unauthenticated user and also other authenticated users can come and provide that unique key and email of the person who uploaded the file, and then they can download the file. So this is the high level overview or architecture of our application. Here we have two kind of users, guest user and logged in user or authenticated users. So authenticated users are those who log in using their password either by user pool or Google as identity provider, and then they can use those credentials to talk to identity pool, and identity pool will give IAM credentials such that they can get and put to S3 bucket, and then they can get and put items from S3 bucket. However, guest users will directly talk to Cognito identity pool, and they will get only credentials, and they can only download the files. We know that with ID pool we can do something like this. So with ID pool we can have two kind of roles assigned to different type of users. So if it's random user, we can give them only read-only roles, or for authenticated users we can give them roles with edit permission. So this is the high level overview. Now let's set up the app on AWS. So you can head over to this Cognito course repo, and then go to this ShareMyFile web app, and let's create a React project. So npm okay. Now let's copy the required files to this folder from GitHub. First thing we need is env file to keep our environment variables, which we will create at root of this ShareMyFiles .env, and we will fill this value soon. Coming to source, we need to modify CSS files first. We will not go in much details. These are just simple CSS files. I will just copy paste it. So app.css, and then index.css. Also, we are going to use certain dependencies, which are these 6 or 7 dependencies. Here we are using ODIC client TS and ODIC context library for managing auth flow for login purpose. These are for React DOM, and React AutoDOM, and these two libraries are AWS SDK to interact with S3 and identity pool. So just copy it and put it in package.json like this, and save it. Or I guess let's keep React 19 like this, and again run npm to install the dependencies. Coming back to files again, so we need to modify main.jsx and app.jsx as well. So go to main.jsx, copy it, paste it here, and then app.jsx, copy and paste app.jsx, and then we have this auth.jsx also. Okay, I guess we are done for all files now. I will just quickly go through all files to explain how this React app is working. So this is the main.jsx file, and here we are configuring two routes. One is the main route where all the activity will happen, and this auth route is just for OAuth protocol, where Cognito will redirect with authorization code, and then we will exchange the code. And in main.js only we are configuring the OAuth libraries. After that, we have auth.jsx, where user will be redirected after successful login on Cognito login page. And also, we are creating our identity in ID pool if user is authenticated successfully. And this is authenticated is coming from use auth hook, which is part of ODIC context library. So coming to this architecture, we are like this, we are authenticating, and then we are getting redirected to auth route, and then we are talking to Cognito to create identity. At this point, we are not getting actual token, we are just getting the identity from ID pool. At later stages, we will get the credentials. Now coming back to main.js, we have a home route, which is part of app.jsx. So in app.jsx, we have mainly two sections. One section is shown only to authenticated users so that they can upload the files, and this is another section where we have login buttons. If user is authenticated, then show them sign out, else sign in, and this part is for downloading the files, which will be shown for both logged in and logged out users. And then we have one more file which I forgot to create, which is utils.js. So let's create it, because this is the file which will contain all our important code to talk to S3 and Cognito. So let's create utils, and here utils.jsx, and copy the code. And this file have these four important functions. So we already saw that as part of auth.jsx, we are calling this getID function, and this getID function will create identity in ID pool. Another function we have is getIAM credentials, and this function will use the ID which we have, and the credentials which we have from Cognito user pool to get IAM credentials from identity pool. Means this is step where we use STS to get IAM credentials. So this function will handle for both scenario. If user is authenticated, then it will pass user pool specific token. If user is not authenticated, then it will just call the API to get only permissions. Then we have these two functions related to S3 to get and put files, and both are calling these credentials, getIAM credentials, to get necessary credentials before doing the operation. So this is overview of React application. You can go ahead and explore properly, and if you have some doubt, you can ask in the comments. Now let's go to AWS console and create necessary resources and populate the CNV file. So first thing first, we need user pool. Let's create user pool for single page application, and we need email. While creating single page application, we are creating public client, and here we need this thing. So I will not host React client in S3 bucket or CDN for now. So I'm using this local URL, but if you are using, if you are hosting it somewhere, then make sure to use that URL, and callback URL. We are using auth route. So this should be the URL. Now create it. URL contains invalid characters. Maybe space. Skip it, and let's see what we need. We have region here. We need Cognito user pool ID and domain. So this is user pool ID, and for domain we can go to branding and then domain. Also we need ID of the public client which got created. This one. Save it, and also let's rename it. Let's call share my file user pool to locate it easily. So we are done with this user pool. Google integration we will see later. Now let's go and create this ID pool and this S3 bucket. So go to AWS Cognito ID pool and create ID pool. We want both type of users. For authenticated users, we want to use Cognito user pool as identity provider. Now here we are at this step now, where we will have option to choose what role we want for guest user and what role we want for authenticated user. So let's enter. For authenticated user, I will call here my file. Let's call share my file user, and let's call this one share my file guest. And these are the default documents where only one action is allowed, which is Cognito identity get credentials for identity, and this action helps to use AWS STS to create credentials that ID pool can return. So this necessary policy is already, this necessary permission or action is already allowed for guest user, and for this authenticated user. For both users we need to add some more permissions, which we will go and add in IAM dashboard. So let's save it here. ID pool, we need to enter which ID pool we want to integrate, because we shared, so we want to use ShareMyFile, and then we will share our public client. We have only one client there. Everything else we can leave default, and ID pool name we need to pass. So let's call it ShareMyFile, and ID pool is always. Save it and create the identity pool. Go inside identity pool and copy ID of identity pool and paste it here. Now before we go and create S3 bucket, we need necessary permissions. So we need to configure, we have created these two roles, but we need to add the permissions, and these permissions we can find here under resources folder. We have these two policies. One is for guest user and one is for authenticated user. So I will go to IAM. Here only we can see under identity pool I guess user access. Yeah, we can see here for authenticated user is ShareMyFile user. So I will click on this IAM role and edit. Maybe I will edit this one only. Policy name, edit, and from here I will copy this one, authenticated. For authenticated users, this one was already there. Here we have one more JSON object, and it will allow to get and put S3 object, and for which bucket we will add here. So let's go here and update it. Ideally we should have created a bucket also, so we can put the name here, but let's call it Cognito, or let's call it ShareMyFile 123. I'm sure this name will be available. If it's not available, I will come back here and edit whatever the name which we create. For now, let's save it with this name only. Saved. Now close this tab and go back to ID pool. We need to modify role for guest user also. So this is the guest user access. I will go here and copy this one. For guest user, we can see we have again this one extra object, but this time only get object permission is there. So let's edit the policy and put it here. Also, let's update the bucket name. So it's ShareMyFile 123 and save. Now we are done with IAM roles. Next thing we need is S3 bucket. So let's click S3 and create bucket. Bucket name we want ShareMyFile 123. Everything else we will leave default, and yeah, bucket name is available and it got created. Let's go back to our env file and update this ShareMyFile 123 bucket name also. Now let's run the app and see if things are working. So copy the link and paste it here. Here I can see this place where I can download files, but let's sign in to upload the file as well. Here I need to create account quickly. Here I am successfully authenticated. Here token call happened, and now I have these tokens. I guess it's in session. Yeah, I have ID and access token. So let's again go back to network tab and upload the file. Also, let's change this password to something different and hit upload button. Here we got network error, which is because of the course. Since we are running our React client on localhost 5173, which is different origin as compared to S3, that's why we are getting this error. So fix of this is that we need to allow this origin in S3 bucket settings. For that, go to resources folder and find this file S3 bucket cause, copy the policy, go back to S3 permissions and scroll down to the bottom and find this cause policy, and here paste the policy. Here allowed origin is localhost 5173. If you are hosting on some other domain, then make sure to update the correct one here. Also we need get input for now. Let's save the changes, go back to objects, and let's retry to upload the file. This time file uploaded successfully, and secret to share is this. Let's go to S3 bucket, and here now we have file available. We can see that this is the file name, and last string like abc123 is the password which we passed, and from here to here is the hash of email ID of the user who uploaded the file. So now if someone wants to download this file, they must know this email and this extra string which will act as a password. So let's go and let's copy this URL and act as a guest user by opening private window, and now let's Cognito. So this is the email of the person who uploaded the file, and suppose if I try with wrong password, then it will give me 403 error. So I need to enter the correct password which I passed there, which I got after uploading the file. So this password will be whatever password I entered plus its extension of the file. Let's enter and download. So here I got the file, and it's empty because I had not added any content in the file. Now let's close it. Coming back to the architecture, now we are able to log in and log in using user pool and talk to ID pool, assume the role and download and upload the file. So as authenticated user also, I will be able to download the file. Here I have to just do like this and download. So here also I'm able to download file. Similarly, as guest user, I can't upload the file, but I'm able to download file using this role. Now let's add this Google as identity provider for our Cognito user pool. So let's go to user pool and ShareMyFiles user pool. Under extensions or under social and external providers, we can see identity providers, and here we have Google. Now we need to configure OAuth client from Google side and get these details. So let's go to console.cloud.google.com/auth. Okay, let's replace by auth, and we will open Google Auth platform. Let's create new project. Here are my files. Let's leave it empty, and once project is created, we can select it, and yeah, it's ready. Selected. Now let's go to clients. It started. Name app name is ShareMyFiles. Support email is this. Next, audience will be external because user pool is supposed to use it. Email, Cognito course internet. Next, agree, continue, date. Now we can, after configuring branding, we can create auth client. So let's create it. Application type will be web application and authorized redirect URI. So authorized redirect URI needs to be here somewhere. We can see here registration instruction. It should be your user pool domain and then IDP response. So copy it, paste it, and user pool domain, this one we can also get from dashboard, but let's copy it and copy and paste till here. Yeah, so it's this thing, and then OAuth to IDP response. That's it. Create the client and then update it here. So this is the client ID, and then client secret. So copy it here, and so scope. So it's open ID, email, file. For mapping, we want map to email and email verified status to email verified here. And there is one more thing, username with sub. Yeah, this one. Now let's add identity provider, and we can see Google is available here. Now it's configured at user pool level. Let's go at client level, and under login pages, we can edit the login page, and identity provider, we can select Google, which we just configured, and save it. Now, if I see here login option is available. Let's go by app. Okay, here it's saying invalid because here I have not configured logout URL. So let's configure that as well, and it will take some time to reflect. 4 or 5 minutes it will take. Meantime, let's go to login page. So it will ask to sign in. Now I'm in the Google in the Cognito page, and Google option is available. Let's sign in, and sign in using email, Google account. It redirected me to my app with code, and now I'm successfully logged in with Google. Let's test this also. So I will put some value here, test 1 2 3, and let's rename this file to something. Let's call test ABC and put it here, and hit the upload. File is uploaded. Close this. Okay, S3 is closed, but second file should be available. Let's open S3 bucket and see it. And here second file is available. Now let's open incognito tab again and download the file. So this is username, and this is the password. Yeah, file got successfully downloaded. Now let's go back to our ID pool and see how many users are created there. So here we can see that we have 2 identities through user pool, and 2 are unauthorized identities. So let's go to identity browser, and these two are one is which we logged directly using user pool, and this is the one which we logged using Google. So these two are authenticated users which got created in identity pool, and these two are the guest users which we logged in the incognito window and downloaded the file. So we have detail of identities available here. So this is for this Cognito course. Hope you find it insightful. If you have some doubt, please leave in the comment, and thanks for watching.